Hi everybody. This is the third take I'm doing. Terrible at this. That's why I'm not ready for doing live. What I want to talk about today is fascism and how um, the media and the government are trying to divide us racially in our country. Okay. Um, First thing I want to cover is fascism, because this is the title I'm going to give this video, because I want people to see it, and I'm sure that between the two things that people need to know what fascism is, mainly. Okay, if you Google the definition for fascism, the first result comes from Wikipedia, and it says that it comes from far right. And that kind of made me wonder. I'm like, far right? That can't be right. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that it's suppression of opposition. So I did more digging. Don't trust Wikipedia. Um, but on that Wikipedia link, if you do hit it, it does show an example of, or picture, I should say, of Mussolini, and Hitler. Fascist, communist, not far right. Okay? Nazi, what does that mean? National Socialist German Workers. That's what it stands for. Look it up. If you look it up, Wikipedia will also say something about that's far right as well. Also wrong. There was an article that I read. I'm going to put in the description of this video or in the comments. You guys should read it, where it says that there's different views on what fascism is, but it basically shows you what it is, tells you what it is. Okay? Without further ado, though, Webster Dictionary. Fascism definition: a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual and stands for centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. Forcible suppression of opposition. So, I'm going to go over suppression of opposition. It's not far right. So, these two things came into my mind last night that I wanted to do the video about, because I had two different arguments on Twitter last night. First being fascism and them calling the Republican Party fascist. They don't know what fascist is. They don't. They don't know what fascists are. They do not. Okay. And then the second one, which I'm gonna jump into, is a little bit more controversial. So, I got banned from Facebook for posting facts, and an actual screenshot of an article of stats of how likely you are to get shot by a cop, by race, on while you're unarmed, being shot by a cop. More white people get shot than black people. Okay? And the first thing that people will say to counter that is, well, there's more white people than black people in this country. Okay? I agree with that. There are more white people. This is going to sound like I agree with them more at first, but just follow me, okay? From 2017 to 2021. 2017, 457 unarmed white people got shot by a cop to 223 black people. 2018, 399 white people to 209 black people. 2019, 370 white people, 235 black. Last year, 457 white people got shot by cops, 241 black people. And this year, currently 50 white people to 30 black. So again, you're going to say, well, there's more white people than there are black people in this country. Again, true. But how many people are there totally in the United States? How many total people or citizens in the United States? 328.2 million, about. Okay, 61.1% are white. That equals about 200.5 million. 200.5 million white people in the country. To 12.2% black people. It's about 40 million black people. Okay? Yeah, there are more white people. A lot more. Okay. Next stat I'm giving you is arrested and crime rates. Okay? So, 7,000 crimes and arrested by white people to 2,700 by black. Again, more white people, right? Yeah. Well, let me counter that with there's more white people than there are black people. Percentage-wise, there are more percentage of black people that commit crimes because the 2,700 arrested for crimes out of the 40 million is a greater percentage than the 7,000 out of the 200.5 million. So the percentage is, for whites, 0.03% are arrested for crimes. Blacks, double, 0.06%. Double. So, percentage-wise of how many people there are, black people do commit the most crimes. Okay? Another argument they're going to have, which is a little different, is, well, poverty. Sure. But I'm going to tell you, stop giving the criminals an excuse like poverty. Oh, you came from poverty. That's why you murder or do drugs or rob. It's because you came from poverty. Oh, that makes sense. Don't do that. We as a nation, it's terrible that we victimize the criminals and criminalize the people that protect us. Horrible. So, how about instead of being in poverty, why don't they grow? Well, maybe they don't have a way out. They're too poor. They can't make their way out. Well, America has the best movement of class of any country. Right? That's a fact. Also, most of these people that are committing these mass shootings, they don't have a father figure. Why don't we try to reward the nuclear family instead of reward people being on welfare, being separated and having kids? They need a father figure. Why don't we do that? Also, why do people from poverty, and this isn't just black people, Why do they continue to vote for the same people? Vote different. Maybe it will change. You can't expect change if you keep doing the things the same way. They try to move, they move to a different place, and then they vote for the same way. People from different countries say, oh, I understand why you don't like Democrats. I come from a Democratic country, but they still vote for Democrat. Colin Kaepernick. And I really don't understand why he didn't get the living shit beaten out of him for this, but for siding with like Castro in Cuba, socialist. Do you realize how people view that? People coming from Cuba because they need to get away from him. It's horrible. They like guys, like seriously, how do you side with somebody that's so dumb like that? Okay? So the media is trying to make this racial divide and with government too, because they do not show the facts. They show you opposite of what I showed you about crime rates and how likely you are to get shot. If a white person shoots a black person, or if a white cop shoots a black citizen, it makes the media, it makes the news, makes the headline. Black person shoots anybody else, does not make a headline. They won't show that. So every time you put it on the news, all you see is this. So that's what you believe, because that's all what's happening. When it's not. That's not what's happening. They're fear-mongering you into dividing this country by race. It's horrible. Facebook, all these big tech people, big tech companies, right? They will ban you if you have an opinion that differs from theirs. They will ban you for even having facts and trying to push the facts on them. Suppression of opposition. It's fascist. They also want complete power. Okay? Dictatorial leader means they have full control of everything. Let's see. In his 4 months in office, let's see, they're trying to get rid of our guns. Freedom of speech is kind of out of the window, thanks to big tech helping them. They're trying to get 13 Supreme Court justices as opposed to 9. They're trying to make DC a state and Puerto Rico a state. Why do they want DC and Puerto Rico as a state? Because they're going to vote Democrat. Why do they want to add seats to the Supreme Court? Because they're going to put Democrats in them. Complete control. Suppression of opposition. That's fascist.